You don't lose muscle because you're aging. You lose it because your muscles are no longer receiving the signal to grow. After the age of 60, something subtle but profound begins to happen inside the body. An invisible shrinkage, not just in strength, but in resilience, balance, and metabolism. It's called sarcopenia, and most men and women over 60 don't even know it's happening until they've lost over 20% of their lean mass. Muscle isn't just about lifting things. It's an endocrine organ. It communicates with your brain, your bones, your blood sugar, and your immune system. It produces myokines, tiny proteins that act like healing messages sent out after each contraction. And when you begin to lose muscle, you're not just losing bulk, you're losing a network of cellular communication, a network of support that holds everything else in balance. Muscle is also your primary storage for glucose. Without it, blood sugar control weakens. Insulin sensitivity declines. Fat begins to deposit in places it shouldn't. Around organs, inside the liver, even in the muscle itself. This isn't about appearance. It's about metabolic integrity. Sarcopenia silently opens the door to type 2 diabetes, falls, fractures, and frailty. But here's the truth. Your body is still capable of growing muscle even into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. What's changed isn't the potential, it's the process. After 60, your muscles become more resistant to growth signals. What used to trigger synthesis, a brisk walk, a moderate meal, now requires precision, better quality protein, smarter timing, and consistent stimulus. The old approach, eating 3 meals a day with a little protein at dinner, no longer works. It's not enough to maintain the architecture of strength. And there's another layer. Many people over 60, especially those trying to eat clean, unknowingly consume too little protein or rely on sources that fall short in amino acid density. Eggs are often celebrated as a gold standard protein. But there's a food that not only beats eggs in usable protein per gram, but supports muscle maintenance through a very different biological route. It doesn't just feed the muscle, it fuels the nighttime repair cycle when growth hormone pulses and the body does its deepest work. That food is coming. But first, we need to understand the terrain. Because if your body is in a constant state of muscle breakdown, then every meal becomes an opportunity either to rebuild or to decline. This is the silent fork in the road that most adults over 60 walk every day without realizing it. The solution is not more food. It's not protein shakes or gym memberships. It's a shift in awareness, a new way of feeding the muscle, not just for size, but for longevity. Because when muscle is preserved, everything else functions better. You move with more control. Your metabolism wakes up. Even your immune system responds with greater precision. This isn't about bulking. It's about staying functional, strong, and free. Without pills, without overexertion, and without guesswork. And it begins with knowing which proteins still work for your biology now, and which ones have lost their edge. Muscles don't grow because you eat protein. They grow because protein sends the right message at the right time to the right receptors. After 60, those receptors become harder to reach, not because they're broken, but because they require more targeted input. This is the principle of anabolic resistance, one of the least discussed drivers of age decline. In youth, a small dose of protein, say the amount in a slice of chicken or an egg, can spark muscle protein synthesis. But as you age, the same dose barely registers. It's not that your digestive system stops working. It's that your muscle tissue requires a stronger signal to activate the repair process. And that signal is sent by specific amino acids, especially leucine, the trigger for muscle growth. Eggs are a solid protein source, but they only provide about 6 grams of protein per egg, with just enough leucine to get close to that activation threshold. But there's another food, often overlooked, that contains more usable protein per gram than eggs and releases it slowly over time, helping to fuel muscle regeneration through the night. That food is cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is rich in casein protein, a slow-digesting form of protein that provides a steady release of amino acids for up to 7 hours. This is critical for older adults because most muscle repair doesn't happen during the day. It happens at night while you sleep, when growth hormone is pulsing and inflammation is being cleared from your tissues. Casein feeds that process. It nourishes the repair phase. But this isn't just about grams of protein. It's about bioavailability. Casein, especially from high-quality sources, contains all 9 essential amino acids, including a high leucine concentration, and powerful cofactors like calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin B12. It's also lower in lactose than milk, making it easier to tolerate for many seniors. And when paired with light resistance training, even just body weight squats or a 15-minute walk, it transforms from a snack into a biological upgrade, switching on genes related to muscle growth, insulin regulation, and mitochondrial efficiency. Protein needs also change in rhythm. The common pattern of eating a protein-light breakfast, a modest lunch, and a heavy protein dinner is inefficient for older adults. The body can only use so much protein at once, and it's better absorbed when evenly distributed across the day. A high-protein breakfast, a casein-rich snack at night, and balanced meals in between offer your muscles a steady stream of fuel, not a flood followed by famine. And yet, it's not just what you eat, it's what your body can use. That's the new frontier. Choosing proteins that deliver not just amino acids, but also metabolic benefits. Blood sugar control, gut healing, and anti-inflammatory effects. Cottage cheese, especially when combined with herbs like turmeric or paired with berries, becomes a food that doesn't just feed muscle. It fights the deeper causes of muscle loss: inflammation, oxidative stress, and hormonal drift. In the next section, we'll reveal exactly how to use this food strategically. What time of day, what portion sizes, and what to combine it with to create a natural muscle-preserving routine. Because your body isn't done. It's just waiting for the right signal. If muscle is lost through silence, then recovery begins with the right message. And the body listens most carefully not to volume, but to rhythm. Slow, consistent nourishment that matches its natural repair cycle. That's why for those over 60, the most powerful food to support muscle isn't the egg, it's cottage cheese. At first glance, it seems simple, humble, unassuming. But within each spoonful lies a protein profile that outperforms. While eggs offer about 6 grams of protein each, Cottage cheese provides over 25 grams of high-quality protein in just 1 cup, with a leucine content that exceeds the threshold needed to stimulate muscle growth in aging muscle tissue. And more importantly, this protein, casein, is digested slowly over several hours. That's what makes it extraordinary. Casein's unique structure forms a soft gel in the stomach. Unlike whey, which digests rapidly, casein unfolds gradually, releasing amino acids into the bloodstream in a steady flow. For an aging body, this extended release is crucial. It mirrors the tempo of the body's overnight repair phase. When growth hormone surges, inflammation declines, and protein synthesis reaches its peak. In this way, cottage cheese doesn't just feed the muscle, it synchronizes with it. But it's more than just protein. Cottage cheese is rich in calcium, which helps signal muscle contractions, supports nerve communication, and strengthens bones, a trio of systems often weakening together with age. It contains selenium, a trace mineral that boosts antioxidant defenses and supports thyroid function, which directly influences metabolism and energy. And the B12 content keeps your red blood cells and nerves running efficiently, fueling every cell that needs to recover, grow, or carry oxygen. If you choose cultured cottage cheese, you get an added layer of benefit. Probiotics. These beneficial bacteria nourish your gut lining, calm systemic inflammation, and improve nutrient absorption, including amino acids and minerals critical for muscle preservation. A healthy gut is no longer a bonus. It's a requirement for maintaining strong, functional muscle over 60. Timing is everything. The best time to consume cottage cheese is in the evening, 1 to 2 hours before bed. This primes the body with a slow drip of muscle-building nutrients just as it enters deep sleep, when cortisol drops and repair hormones like IGF-1 rise. Eating it before bed creates an overnight support system. Muscle isn't broken down to feed your cells because nourishment is already flowing. And for those who prefer a morning or midday approach, cottage cheese pairs beautifully with fiber-rich foods that reduce the insulin spike and prolong satiety. Chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts, mulberries, or turmeric. These combinations don't just taste good, they reduce oxidative stress, lower inflammatory cytokines, and improve amino acid delivery to muscle tissue. Even a small daily serving, just half a cup, can provide enough casein to make a measurable difference in lean body mass retention, particularly when paired with light resistance training or even walking. This isn't about going to the gym or lifting heavy weights. It's about supporting your muscle with consistent signals, both biochemical and mechanical. The goal isn't bulk, it's function. Muscle that lets you stand without effort, walk without pain, and move through life with confidence. And it turns out that strength doesn't require powders or pills. It just requires the right food at the right time with the right intention. In the next section, we'll explore how to build a complete muscle-supporting day around this food. What to eat before and after, what movement enhances absorption, and how to turn this simple addition into a full-body upgrade. You don't need more food. You need smarter food used at the right time in the right way to speak to the body's biology, not just its hunger. Cottage cheese isn't a magic bullet. But when consumed with intention, it becomes a precision tool, one that rebuilds muscle, restores metabolic clarity, and aligns with the natural cycles of recovery your body still holds even at 60, 70, or 80. Start with timing. After 60, your muscle protein synthesis window doesn't close, it just narrows. What once stayed open all day now peaks after two key moments: post-exercise and during deep sleep. This is where cottage cheese shines. When eaten in the evening, about 60 to 90 minutes before bed, it delivers a steady stream of amino acids right as the body begins to repair. This slow drip of nutrition fuels your overnight muscle synthesis without spiking insulin or disturbing sleep. Unlike high-carb snacks or fast-absorbing protein shakes, cottage cheese works with your circadian rhythm, not against it. That's the nighttime strategy. But there's also power in starting the day with protein. For years, breakfast has been the most underutilized opportunity to preserve muscle. Many seniors skip it altogether or eat only toast and fruit, fast-burning carbs that do little to halt muscle breakdown. Instead, pairing a moderate serving of cottage cheese with anti-inflammatory, fiber-rich add-ons can set the tone for your entire metabolism. Add turmeric, cinnamon, or ground flax seed to reduce inflammation. Add walnuts or chia seeds to stabilize blood sugar and enhance omega-3 intake. This turns breakfast into a morning dose of longevity. Midday is your maintenance window. Light movement like walking, climbing stairs, or even gardening triggers signals in the muscle to open their doors to incoming protein. That's why a small cottage cheese snack post-activity becomes a direct delivery system for amino acids absorbed right when your body is primed to use them. This doesn't have to be a large portion, just a third to half a cup, combined with something hydrating like cucumber or a squeeze of lemon to support digestion and detox. But eating protein without movement is like having bricks with no construction crew. Your body still needs mechanical stimulus to incorporate those amino acids into tissue. This doesn't mean lifting weights. It means consistency in small movements. Wall sits, resistance bands, even standing up and sitting down 10 times from a chair can wake up sleeping muscle fibers. These movements amplify the signal that the incoming protein is needed, not stored or wasted. And hydration plays its own role. Muscles are over 70% water, and protein metabolism is an enzymatic process that depends on fluid balance. Dehydration stiffens tissue, slows digestion, and hinders amino acid transport. Drink water steadily through the day, especially before and after your protein-rich meals to enhance nutrient flow and cellular uptake. Finally, think of your day as a rhythm. Morning nourishment, midday movement, evening repair, one full-body conversation repeated daily. This is how we restore muscle, not with intensity, but with ritual. Small, repeated signals. A body that listens and responds. And a mindset that says, "This is still my home, and I will care for it like it's sacred." You don't need more pills, more workouts, or more stress. You need alignment between food, movement, and recovery. Cottage cheese is just the beginning. It's the anchor, the invitation. When you treat it as a therapeutic food, timed with intention, it becomes part of a greater muscle-preserving formula, one that works with age, not against it. In the next section, we'll look at what mistakes to avoid. Common habits that block protein absorption, weaken digestion, or waste the very nutrients you've worked to bring in. You can eat the best protein in the world, but if your body can't absorb it, it's wasted. Especially after 60, your digestion, hormones, and cellular response systems become more selective. The key isn't just what you eat, it's how your body responds to it. And there are 3 common mistakes that quietly sabotage even the most well-intentioned muscle support routines. The first mistake is skipping meals, or worse, skipping protein early in the day. Your body wakes up in a catabolic state. That means it's breaking things down. Fat, yes, but also muscle. Without a morning protein signal, the body continues to dismantle muscle fibers for energy. And when protein finally arrives late in the day, the window of maximal absorption is already narrowed. Muscles are like dry soil. They absorb water better in slow, steady doses. Waiting all day for one big, protein-heavy dinner floods the system, but starves the tissue. Instead, begin the day with even a modest amount of protein, 10 to 20 grams, to shift the body into anabolic repair mode. The second mistake is overloading protein in a single sitting. Many adults believe they need 30, 40, or even 50 grams of protein at one meal to build muscle. But your body doesn't work like a warehouse. It works like a river. Excess protein in one meal doesn't automatically get stored for later. After a certain threshold, usually around 25 to 30 grams depending on body size, the additional amino acids are either converted into glucose or eliminated. What's more effective is even distribution. 20 to 25 grams of high-quality protein at each meal and one snack, spaced every 4 to 5 hours. This keeps blood amino acid levels stable and gives your muscles a steady stream of building blocks throughout the day. The third, and often overlooked, mistake is ignoring digestion itself. After 60, stomach acid production declines, which means protein isn't broken down as efficiently. Without proper breakdown, amino acids aren't absorbed, and the body misses the anabolic signal. The fix: eat slowly, chew thoroughly, and consider adding natural digestion enhancers like apple cider vinegar before meals or bitters to stimulate gastric juice. These small rituals restore the stomach's ability to digest dense proteins like casein. Without proper digestion, even the best food becomes an unused asset. There's also the gut to consider. If your microbiome is out of balance, too much inflammation, too few beneficial bacteria, nutrients may be absorbed inefficiently. That's why adding fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, or probiotic cottage cheese to your routine helps not just the gut, but the entire muscle nourishment cascade. Another mistake: pairing protein with high-sugar foods. While some carbohydrates are useful, especially post-activity to replenish glycogen, spiking insulin alongside every protein intake can lead to fat gain and reduced insulin sensitivity. Choose fiber-rich, low-glycemic companions. Leafy greens, berries, flaxseed. These stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and improve protein uptake without the metabolic cost. Finally, don't forget the invisible mistakes: chronic stress, poor sleep, and dehydration. All 3 directly reduce the body's ability to repair and grow muscle. Cortisol, the stress hormone, breaks down muscle. Poor sleep disrupts growth hormone, and dehydration slows protein metabolism. Addressing these doesn't require perfection, just awareness. Even a 20-minute walk after meals, a consistent bedtime, or 3 extra glasses of water daily can shift the balance in your favor. The body is responsive. It listens to every input, and when those inputs are aligned, clean protein, supportive digestion, low inflammation, you don't just slow muscle loss, you reverse it. In our final section, we'll bring this full circle. You'll see how this simple food, cottage cheese, combined with rhythm, breath, and intention, becomes a daily act of strength, preservation, and cellular renewal. There's a myth we've been told that after 60, strength is something we slowly lose and never get back. That the body simply forgets how to grow, how to adapt, how to hold on. But that's not the truth. The truth is your body doesn't forget. It remembers everything. Every step you take, every signal you send, every nutrient you feed it. And muscle is not lost. It's waiting to be reawakened. Even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, your muscle fibers still respond. The satellite cells, the ones responsible for regeneration, are still alive, still listening. What they're waiting for is not punishment or overload. They're waiting for consistency, nutrition, and permission. They're waiting for you to send the right message at the right time. Cottage cheese, as humble as it sounds, becomes part of that message. When you eat it before bed, your body doesn't just digest, it begins to rebuild. The slow release of casein protein feeds your muscles throughout the night, supporting growth hormones' silent work. This isn't fitness hype. It's physiology. It's how your body has always worked. You're just learning how to feed it with alignment instead of assumption. And when that nourishment is paired with light, intentional movement, body weight exercises, walking hills, or simply rising and lowering from a chair 10 times, you reactivate the signals that tell your muscles, we still need you. Add deep sleep, hydration, and digestion, and the environment becomes rich with renewal. You don't need extreme diets or gym routines. You need rhythm. You need meals that match your biology. You need to stop waiting for a miracle and realize the miracle is already inside you. The capacity to heal, to strengthen, to reverse decline. It hasn't left. It's just been quiet, silenced by habits that no longer serve you. But now you know better. You know that muscle is longevity. It supports your blood sugar, protects your joints, powers your immune response, and even enhances your mental health. The stronger your frame, the clearer your mind becomes. The better your balance, the deeper your confidence. This isn't about vanity. It's about vitality. And it begins with one change. One scoop of slow-digesting protein before bed, one extra glass of water, one stretch, one walk, one plate that says, "Today I choose strength." So the next time someone says it's normal to get weaker with age, you'll know that what's common isn't always what's correct. Yes, your biology shifts, but it doesn't stop. And the body you live in is still equipped with the tools to repair, regenerate, and grow stronger, not weaker, with time. You haven't missed your chance. You've just been waiting for the right signal, And now you have it. Feed your body the right way. Move with intention. Rest with rhythm. And remember, you're not done.